Destiny, and welcome back to my YouTube channel.
Okay, so there has been so many new fragrance releases. I don't know what is going on, but I feel like every time I turn around, there's a new fragrance here, there's a new fragrance there, and it's super overwhelming to keep up. But I have been able to smell some of the new perfumes, so I thought I was gonna just come on here and kind of talk about them and my thoughts, and honestly, if I think that they are even worth it. So I have some from Zara, Burberry. I know Prada came out with one. I feel like I'm kind of late on that one, but we're not going to talk about it. If you want to hear my thoughts on these a million different new perfumes that are coming out, please keep watching. Okay, so the first one I have here is Burberry Goddess. And I know this is like a new, pretty new release. I think maybe it came out like last month or something. And there is Vanilla Caviar, Vanilla Absolute, Vanilla Lavender, Cacao, and Ginger. So I do pick up on the ginger note because there is just a slight bit of spiciness. I don't smell the cacao, which I'm assuming maybe might smell a little bit more like chocolatey, earthy, but I don't get that in the fragrance. I feel like I just smell mostly the vanilla. I have no idea what vanilla caviar is. I didn't know that was a thing, but apparently it is. So I don't get that, or whatever. I will, even if I did get it, would I even know? Why would I even know? Because what does that smell like? Anyway, so this is predominantly a vanilla fragrance. So I sprayed it once before on my actual skin, and I was like, oh my gosh, this smells so amazing. This smells so good. Like, I need a bottle, which I still agree with, but I think now that I've had it, I guess I don't agree with it. Now that I've had it for a little while and I've been testing it, I'm not entirely sure if I'd put it in my collection. So to me, this is not a sweet vanilla. Like, you're not going to get like vanilla 28 from Kayali or anything like that. Like, it doesn't smell like a sweet gourmand vanilla. Kayali's vanilla 28 is one of my favorite vanillas, and although I'm not really like a gourmand girl, I feel like that vanilla is done so well. I think the brown sugar in there is just like chef's kiss. It's so beautiful. So in terms of this, the lavender is definitely there. I have Mon Guerlain, so I could definitely smell like, not smells like that perfume, but I can smell like the lavender, like how they use it in Mon Guerlain, which is nice. I'm just not sure if I would buy the entire bottle. In terms of longevity, I feel like I haven't gotten the best longevity, or like how long it, like, I sprayed it on my clothes, sprayed it on my skin, and I feel like it didn't last as long as I wish it did. Now, I do think that the price point isn't that bad. I actually think it's really good for what it smells like. It does smell very expensive. If I didn't know this was like Burberry, I would have definitely assumed that it was like, like more like level entry niche, which is fine. But I do think it's one that's worth trying out and worth getting a sample of to see if it's something that you like. Again, like I said, I'm going to keep my 10 ml bottle, my 10 ml little thing here, and keep wearing it because I know the weather here is getting quite cold. So I am looking forward to see how it does in really cold weather. If you want to check this one out, you definitely should. The next one I have here is actually from Zara. This is their new vanilla collection, and I actually did buy one of the bottles. I was only able to smell 3. I couldn't smell Hypnotic Vanilla, but I smelled the other ones, and out of the other 2 that I smelled, this was the one that I decided to take home with me because I really like the way it smells. So this is Starlight Vanilla, and this is, I will say, this is absolutely a dupe for Murr& Tonka by Jo Malone, and like, it smells so similar. So I will say this, I don't have that bottle, and I'm a huge Jo Malone fan because I'm not the biggest fan of like the powderiness of it to spend that much money. Like, it's nice and it's beautiful, but to me, it's not worth spending upwards to like almost 300, 200 and something dollars for a bottle. So the fact that I'm able to get this that has like such a similar vibe, I think is such a steal because I still get to have that powdery feeling when I'm in the mood for it without having to pay an arm and a leg for something that I like but don't necessarily love. So there is Silk, Amber, Almond Milk, Lavender. You smelt Murantanka by Jo Malone. This smells really, really, really similar, just at a drastically different price point. If you enjoy powdery scents, you're really gonna like this. It's a little powdery, a little sweet. You get that lavender in there. Go into your local Zara and smell it first because you know that once you open the bottle, you cannot take it back. So if you don't like it, you're kind of stuck with it. It smells great. It smells expensive. So if you want to check it out, go and visit your local Zara. The next perfume that I have, I've seen this all over TikTok. Paradox by Prada Paradox, whatever you want to call it. And I will be honest, the bottle, very cute. The bottle is definitely very cute. It has like that standard Prada triangle. It's a very cute bottle. Now, the scent itself, I feel like maybe I'm missing something, but it just smells like every other designer fragrance in my personal opinion. Like I don't think there's anything special about it. I think it smells pretty generic. Now, if you like this fragrance, wear it. My opinion literally doesn't matter. I'm just a random girl on the internet, okay? It doesn't matter. If you love this fragrance, wear it. I have a fragrance by Jo Malone that is lime basil and mandarin, and people hate that fragrance, and I love it, okay? So wear whatever you want to. I'm just saying, me personally, it's not my favorite. It smells very generic. It smells nice, like it doesn't smell bad or anything, but I don't think it's anything to write home about per se. Like it just smells like a normal fruity floral. Also, maybe that's it. I don't like fruity fragrances. And said it does last quite a long time, so I will give it that. The bottle's beautiful. The longevity is great. But it's just not, it's giving me nothing. Even if I say something on here like I really don't like it, I would still encourage you to go into Sephora and smell it and see if it's something that you enjoy, because I feel like that's the whole point of fragrance is like I could say my opinion on what I think, but you might absolutely love it. And I don't want my opinion to sway anyone from a fragrance they might actually really like and enjoy because I don't like it. So regardless, I think you should always smell them, even if I say it's not my favorite. Definitely form your own opinion. You know, there is bergamot, tangerine, pear, bourbon vanilla, musk. Did I see? Amber, benzoin, neroli essence, neroli, orange blossom, and jasmine sambac. The neroli note is probably throwing me off. Now, I thought I used to love neroli, but I think I'm wrong. I think I don't like the note of neroli at all. I used to have neroli Portofino by Tom Ford, and I don't know what happened. I started smelling it, and it just smelled strange to me. So I gave it away. But I'm just wondering if the neroli note in here is what's throwing me off or just making me not wowed because I'm not a neroli person. Maybe if you really enjoy neroli, you might really, really like this or appreciate this. But I'm just not one of them. I'm just not that girl. But like I said, it's a really good fragrance. If you like fruity florals and you're into that, then definitely give it a try. But me personally, it's just not my vibe. Let me know if you guys like Prada Paradox. This is the original, by the way, not the Intense. I did not like the Intense even more. Like, I actually prefer this than the Intense. This fragrance, I have like fallen in love with. I saw it online and I went to Sephora and it was like on my like to smell list. And I instantly, I bought the 10 ml bottle like on the spot because it like I smelled it and I was like, oh my God, this is 10 out of 10. Okay. 10 out of 10. And when this little 10 ml bottle is done, I'm getting an entire bottle. Now, this is a brand new release. This is by the Seven Virtues. And the only other fragrance I have by Seven Virtues is, oh my God, Santal Vinny or Vinny Santal. Cherry Ambition. I was like, you could just take all of my money, okay? All of my money, because this smells so good. I feel like there's levels to like cherry. I feel like Kayali's Burning Cherry is like a fruity cherry. Lost Cherry by Tom Ford is like a gourmand cherry. And then BDK's Smoking Rouge is like a powdery cherry. This, however, is like a deep, dark, sensual cherry. Like, this is what you want to smell like on a date night. Like, this is so intoxicating. It smells like deep, dark cherries that have been sitting in a super expensive glass of like bourbon. That's what it smells like. And I think if you're not really a fan of that like alcohol-y, boozy type of fragrances, you might not actually like this because it doesn't scream gourmand to me. It screams like you're in an all black suit. You got yourself a, the most expensive bourbon. Okay, and they added these cherries that have been sitting there and marinating forever, and it's just like bomb. You look bomb, your hair is bomb, you're giving boss babe vibes. Okay, that's what it reminds me of. I douse myself in this every single time I spray it. Now, we're gonna get into the notes. Okay. So there's cherry, of course. Pink pepper, which is one of my favorite notes of all time. Like, I love pink pepper in fragrances. Mandarin, which I don't really get, okay, but it's in there. Marshmallow, which I understand because it does have like this slight sweetness to it, which is good. So I think that's where the sweetness comes from that like marshmallow. There's also cherry blossom, orthomanthus, orris, and saffron. Those are in the middle notes. And for the base notes, we have vanilla, amber, musk. We have frankincense, and is it gaiac wood? I think it's gaiac wood. I'm going to say that's what it is. And I absolutely get that. So when it dries down, you still get that like boozy cherry, but you definitely smell that like really smoky incense and that like woody notes in the back. You guys, this is a 10 out of 10 for me. Now, okay, so I'm probably pretty late. No, I'm not even probably. I'm very late for this. This was actually sent to me by Kayali. And I'm not sure if you could see that, but I have used quite a bit of it because there was just like a time where I don't know what, I just was like dousing myself in it. It like sneaked up on me. Anyways, this is Kayali Yum Pistachio Gelato 33, and I feel like the wave has gone and passed, but I'm late for the wave, and it is what it is. We're still gonna review it, okay? Because I can't keep up, okay? By the time I wear this perfume and decide my thoughts, it's been like 2 years. So, I don't know. I can't keep up. Either way, if you're thinking about this perfume and you don't know, let's get into it. Okay, so this is a pistachio gelato fragrance, obviously, of course. But when I first smelled this, I had no, I had no idea. I didn't have any thoughts. I was kind of just like, I don't know what to think, because I think when I first saw it being released and I heard the name, I was expecting something like super sweet, super gourmand. Like, to my surprise, and I think to a lot of people's surprise, it is sweet, don't get me wrong, but it's very sweet and fresh, like the same elements that you would get in like an ice cream or a gelato. And I feel like they did it really, really well. I know some people don't like it, some people do, but I feel like it, and I feel like it's hard to describe. Like, I do get the pistachio in there, and I do get that sweetness, but I also feel like that freshness really comes through, especially when you first spray it. It did take some time for me to kind of develop what my nose was smelling, because I'd never smelled anything, like this before. But it's so I will say it's sweet, it's yummy, of course. It also feels very calming, very peaceful. I'm not the biggest gourmand girly in terms of like, I cannot stand overly sweet perfumes. I do have some of them in my collection, but I feel like they're done in such a beautiful way, like, Italica by Xerjoff, Lyra by Xerjoff, of course, Kayali Vanilla 28, that's another one. But in terms of the gourmand world, I'm not the biggest collector of gourmands. I'm very specific and particular with the gourmands I like because I don't want to smell like straight up sugar, which I'm not really surprised that I gravitate towards because I feel like it meets me personally in the middle where I like fragrances. So it gives me that fresh and clean element while also giving me something sweet and delicious but not overwhelming. Read the notes from the back. So there is hazelnut, sweet rum. I love alcohol, booze, and fragrances. I don't know why. I just feel like it gives it like a little oomph. Marshmallow, whipped cream, and cotton candy. Check this one out. It's been out for a while, but if it's something that you're interested in, but you're just not sure, definitely keep going back and trying and seeing if it's something that's your vibe. Okay, so I'm actually gonna talk about a perfume I don't have, but it's stuck in my mind, but I definitely remember what it smells like. So I really, really, really love the Hermes Twilly line. I love so far all of them that they've come out with. I only have one, and that's the original one. But the ginger one and the other one, I forget what it's called. Love the flankers. I love the original. I did not at first love the original of the Twilly. I felt like I did not understand why people liked it so much. I was like, this is weird. This is strange. And then I don't know what happened. I think I had sprayed it and I let it settle. It was like this powdery, a little bit sweet. Like it was so good. It was so, so, so good. And I think from then I was like, oh my gosh, I really like, Twilly. And I heard some of the other flankers and I was like sold. So they've been on my wish list. So when I heard they were coming out with a whole new flanker, I was like, yes, like I really do like Hermes as a brand, like a perfume brand. When I came with a new one, I don't remember what I think it's called Tutti. I hope I'm saying that right. I went in store. I went to three different stores in the mall just to find a sample of this fragrance because I just wanted to smell it. I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed when I smelled it. When I tell you, okay, so I'm not really one to want to scrub off a fragrance, no matter if it's not my taste per se. I can always find like the beauty in the fragrance or the craftsmanship or something. It takes a lot, and I mean a lot, for me to really, 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 really dislike a fragrance. And this is one of those moments. I instantly wanted it off my skin. And of course, the one time I really don't like it, of course, it lasted all day and I couldn't get it off my skin. I scrubbed and I scrubbed and I scrubbed. I came home and I scrubbed my arm over and over. And even after that, I could still smell like the remnants of the fragrance. So on the paper, on my skin, it still smelled the same. It smells so sour. Like, I know that there's, like, I believe with this one they added like lychee and things like that, but it smells so sour. Like, it felt like I had put like rotting fruit, rotten citrus on my wrist, and that's all I can smell. It was so overwhelming, and I couldn't get like the rot smell out of my nose. That's how badly I didn't like it, and I was so disappointed because I really like Hermes as a perfume house. Like, there's other Hermes perfumes that I have on my wish list, and I thought that was going to be one of them, and I was so disappointed, and I was so looking forward to the release. So that one for me is just a 0 out of 10. It's just an absolute no, 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 not even on my worst day. No. Let me know if you guys like this fragrance or if you smelt it, but I was very disappointed. I was so sad because I saw the notes and I thought I was going to love it. And it ended up being one of the worst new releases I smelt this far. So, yeah, that was a pretty long video. Thank you so much for watching. If you smelled any of these new releases, please let me know. I'm interested to know your thoughts, if there's anything that you want to pick up, if there's anything that you want to try, or if there's new releases that I didn't review, what do you want to see me review? But again, thank you so much for watching my video. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it because this is a long one. But make sure you like and subscribe and comment, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!